Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much. I'm from uMkhonto weSizwe, the official opposition. Maybe I can start off by just giving you a position in terms of BRICS and where we are with that. Our president is one of the people that formed BRICS. He turned BRIC into BRICS. So he is very much for the Global South and for working with the Global South in ensuring that there's an even balance and a way for us as Africans to make sure that we are not pressured by Western forces through measures like IMF and other measures to do things that are against our own best interest. South Africa has had a largely extractive economy relationship with the United Kingdom. United Kingdom has colonized us, and I want to appreciate your admission that you're also struggling with the legacy of colonialism. But we are not only struggling with the history of colonialism, we're also struggling with apartheid on top of that. And this is one of the realities that wasn't mentioned in the Oval Office last night. And let me be very clear, the thing that the president should have said if he had a spine at all was to say there's no genocide in South Africa. That has been debunked. Those are fake photos. Those are fake graves. It's all nonsense from Facebook. So let me be very, very, very clear. You can see a lot of white people sitting here and walking in the streets, and hundreds of tourists, thousands, millions of them coming to South Africa every day. If there was a white genocide in South Africa, they would be running for their lives. They wouldn't be coming here as tourists. So let me be very clear. We have a problem with crime, and crime unfortunately affects all South Africans. Yes, it affects white South Africans as well. But black South Africans and colored South Africans who live in gang-infested areas because of apartheid, they are the ones that are the real victims. Now, let me talk about land expropriation without compensation, because that's one of the main reasons why they went to the Oval Office last night. And the reality is that they are not the victims of genocide in South Africa. The main victims of genocide in South Africa is actually the Khoi and San, my people, as well as other African indigenous people. We were exterminated by the British and the Dutch and the Afrikaners. We were killed, we were hunted, and our land was taken by force and was never given back. Cecil John Rhodes, who you should know very well, came here and he took millions of acres by land by killing people, taking our heads, put it in bags, and claiming our land. Now, the empire was built on the blood of our people. And the extractive economy hasn't stopped. There's 600 English companies here, including De Beers and Anglo-American and all of these, that still have purely extractive relationships where there's no beneficiation of raw materials, there's no ownership of the value chain in South Africa, and there's no reparations for things that was done in the past. My personal family is the Pofaders. The town in the Northern Cape, Pofadder, is named after my great-great-grandfather, Klaas Pofadder. He was the last king, acknowledged king, by the Queen herself of the Korana in the Northern Cape. We were killed, and it's all historical. You can read about it even in your own books. Our people were killed and exterminated for the diamonds that was in Kimberley, to make way for that. So there's been a problem in South Africa. The Khoi and the San people have not been acknowledged or recognized as the Aboriginal First Nation people of South Africa by the ANC for 30 years. Every other tribe has been recognized, but not ours, because it has serious implications in terms of the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People, in terms of the ILO Convention 169. So we as MK, we believe that the land needs to be returned and restored to its original owners, and that there needs to be a land sharing agreement. Not that we're saying white people must go back to where they are. We're not animals. We believe everybody needs to share. But we need to have a different land agreement. We need to have a different minerals agreement. We need to have a beneficiation agreement for South Africa. And this is why they went to the President of America to cry about the fact that we have the truth, the Traditional Khoisan Leaders Act number 3 of 2019, which has now been implemented, and our people are being recognized. Within the next 2 years, our people will be recognized, and our rights will be able to claim land under international law by the ICJ and here in South Africa. And our constitution will have to be changed to make sure that it aligns with that. So the land issue, it was never done with. Land was taken en masse in 1950, but never returned in 1994. Our people were taken from our lands, taken from our farms, taken from our mines, and put into concentration camps and work labor camps, now called shacks and townships. Our people were left there in 1994, nothing has been done. And that is because we got a small income revenue base and a large expenditure base with a huge deficit that we're making up in debt. Now that is because we're not utilizing all our resources. We've just found oil, the largest oil deposit in Africa off the coast of the Western Cape. They can be utilized to free our people from poverty. If we have a Dubai type of situation or a Norway type of situation where the oil is used to free people from poverty. But that's not the model that South Africa has. South Africa has a model that honors the colonial past, that honors the past that was extractive, it was never changed in 1994. And so when it comes to what we see going forward, we want to have a good relationship with everybody. Yes, we are part of the global south. Yes, we believe that we need to move away from the IMF and the World Bank model to the New Development Bank model. But that's what's in our best interest. It's not because we're anti this one or anti that one. It's because it's in our best interest in Africa to take control of our resources and determine our own future. So when it comes to China, when it comes to, they have done what is incredible. If you deny that, then you don't know what's going on in the world. They've taken over nearly 1.2 billion people out of poverty within 20 years. They've industrialized the entire economy with much less resources than we have. We have 85% of the world's PMGs. We have rare earth minerals, we have gold, we have diamonds, and our people still live in shacks. Go and look at what's happening in Shanghai. Go and look at what's happening in Beijing and all those, and Guangdong. They use our resources to build all of that. So there's something wrong with the equation in South Africa, and MK is here to change that. MK is here to make sure that we get the solution to the land art problem for real, not one that just is done by business and by white monopoly capital, where they want to keep things as they are. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. We are not for that, and they bought the current government over. And so that's why the president's sitting there in that Oval Office with his cap in hand, not being able to explain who we are and what we stand for. So in terms of where we stand with Israel and with Gaza, it's very clear we are non-aligned in all our relationships in South Africa, but we stand with the people of Palestine. We can end to the genocide, and we stand with South Africa in its case in the ICJ. People must be held accountable for what they did. The same should be for other genocides in Africa as well as us as South Africans. The Cohen son will still be going to the ICJ, and we're still going to be demanding our reparations from the British Crown. We're still going to be demanding the return of our artifacts from the museums and many other things, because we haven't been recognized, and now that we get our recognition, we are coming back for what is ours. But that will be done in a good relationship. There's something we can talk about. It's not something that has to be a zero-sum game. Geopolitics doesn't have to be a zero-sum game. You win and I lose, or I win and you lose. We can find each other, but we have to do things on a new way, and a new way going forward. So I'm going to allow some of my other colleagues also to share on some of the other issues. And then the Russia-Ukraine issue, that issue, I think I will basically leave to Honorable Mchigila, who sits on our defense for our party. Thank you.
Thanks,